I think to make this a true investment, I think there's two things. To Josh's point, getting some resolution on how much subsidizing is going to be done over the course of the next 5 years. And number two, there's the labor force for Uber is one that they do not control. And therefore, there's going to be issues with how much revenue the actual drivers are getting. And I think that's going to continue to put some pressure on the company over the next 2 to 3 years.
So I think that's right. But they would point to not controlling the drivers as a strength is the first thing that they would say. And then the second thing that they would not say, but that's in the back of everyone's mind, is that not within 2 years, but within 10 years, there might be cars without drivers.
And that could change. And I think, but I also think
that's going to be expensive.
We don't know.
Yeah. That'll be very expensive to do, and that's at least 5 years away, no matter what Elon says about 2020, right? 2022. But here's what I'd say. They're finding drivers right now with employment at all-time record levels. They're not always going to be that way. I'm not worried about them able to find drivers who aren't going to make any money when the economy starts turning. So that's not the issue. The issue is, and we saw the NLRB come out earlier this week, I believe it was then, that said, hey, no, they're independent contracts. That was huge news, but it didn't get the stock still above the IPO.
I think there's something about the way the economy works now. There's another company filed for its S1 yesterday called Fiverr. This is an Israeli platform, but it's all over the world for freelance workers.
Total gig.
A lot of the people that do work for us in our business are outside of the company, whereas 20 years ago, they might have been employees. I think this is the way of the world. I do agree, though, that is an existential threat to Uber, is if in an important jurisdiction, somebody said, you know what, these are actually your employees, you got to do benefits for them, they're W-2 employees. That would obviously take everyone out of the stock. But if that's not going to happen, then you have a company that figured out tipping. There was no tipping on the Uber app until 3 years ago. Now it's fairly widespread. I think that did help the drivers. I'm sure they want more. But they are finding ways to make it a more palatable experience to drive for them. And if they weren't, then they wouldn't have millions of drivers. These people aren't at gunpoint. So I think that's relatively low on the totem pole of things I'm worried about. Again, I'm much more worried about, can they get the unit level economics of a ride in an Uber to the point where each ride is, if not very profitable, at least a little bit profitable. They're not there yet, and there is an open question whether or not they ever will.